Hi, girls.
This is your new home.
Yeah. How early is it?
It's near 5 to 6.
She's blessed to have such a weird father who gets up at this time in the morning, right? Sorry, GoPros are rubbish in this sort of light. We are a little bit behind schedule, 6:15. It's about a 3-hour trip if you're not towing a trailer. And the sun's up, and we've already eaten our lunch, and it's 8:30.
We haven't eaten all our lunch.
No, we've got a packet of Quavers left. Hello, Lancashire. Ah, more. Hello.
Oh.
These are off the sow that I bought.
They're smart looking breed, aren't they? So striking.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, when we first started, we had a vision of this is the breed we wanted to go into meat goats.
Yeah.
So that's what we ended up with. This guy.
Guy's huge. Well, they like to handle when they're that big.
He's all right. He's all right. He's in his winter woolies at the moment. But yeah, I got him and he made a massive difference to my offspring.
Yeah.
He made a massive difference. Growth rates and everything. And she's an embryo from Australia. She's a very good cat. Really good.
Yeah.
This one. Can you see her face? Her face is really feminine.
Yeah.
Really nice and round and really feminine. And nice horns that follow the shape of the nose.
Yeah.
That's what you're after, really. Out of that big book in there from that embryo door. So he's got a nice length,
Yeah.
really strong front end,
Yeah.
nice and oval head, nice round head, and really wide onset. I knew they were good as soon as they were born, you could just tell that. So that head is about as good as you'd expect on a buck.
No, I think I'm just the weakest. Come on, look again.
You little tapping above. I love that one. I love that one. That one's my favourite.
Well, we're loaded up. How was your 2 hours up north?
Well, I think it's okay, but I think the journey back is going to be a bit harder.
Well, a bit slower. You walked around a barn saying you were cold. We proved that we are southern softies. Alright, so we might have missed a couple of quite important junctions on the motorway, but we are hopefully going to be back before sunset. I knew we'd end up getting back in the dark. Well, it's not really late, it's only 4:30, but this time of year. Hi, girls.
This is your new home.
Alright, it's not actually much lighter today. The girls are back from school, so we thought we'd just come in and check on the goats. I've been painting. Hey, are you gonna come and show Rosie your goat?
No, I don't want a goat anymore.
You don't want a goat, okay. They just tickle your hand.
Do they have teeth?
They do, but you can't feel their teeth. They've just got lips. They just use their lips. Come and hold it here.
They don't bite you, look.
This one's really nice. Would you like this one?
They're also quite a bit more sort of confident and friendly around people, so that's quite fun, rather than the sheep, which tend to run away from you until you've got a lot of food on your hand. But they're going to be like, they're nice characters. We can tell the difference between them, and everyone's kind of picked their own goat already. It's a fresh one today. I feel like we kind of got a little bit crazy yesterday with the girls coming back from school. You can hear the goats. So I thought I'd refilm a little bit, show you what's going on. Hello, girls. These are the girls. There's 5, as you saw us pick them up. They don't have all names yet, but they have been all adopted, one each in the family. So we're going to get their hay sorted first. I guess they're getting through, well, for the day and a half we've had them, approximately a bale a day. Which means there's definitely enough to see us through winter, I think. If we're a bale here, 2 bales potentially, or a bale and a half of the sheep, depending on how we graze them. So we should just about get through winter, but we will probably supplement, depending on how much grazing there is in the spring, keep the goats on hay, because they obviously are more of a browser, and it just depends how much there is to browse out there. I won't leave it too long, because the pigs have heard I'm here and they're screaming their heads off. But I thought I'd give you a little lowdown on the breed, why we've got them, what our plans are, and all that sort of stuff. Now the breed is a Boer goat, which is B-O-E-R, and they are from South Africa, so a warm climate goat, but they've been bred to be a little bit more hardy than that now. And here in the UK, there's a number of breeders. Some of these girls are from up in Scotland. We obviously got them from a farm in Lancashire. Now they're a little bit more delicate, let's say, than the sheep. So they do need shelter all year round. So they're going to be in the barn for now. Good days we can walk them out onto the top paddock or the yard down here, let them have a run around outside, a bit of grass. But in most situations throughout spring, summer and autumn, they are still going to be having a field shelter, probably one of the big dry sow pig arks that we've got, and we'll tow that around. Boer breed is predominantly a meat breed. So we are going to be using these to create a larger herd anyway, so keeping on some of the females, but then, so if all of these have got twins, let's say, we'll probably be looking at 5 wethers for next year, and then 5 doelings that we can carry on with these, or sell a couple of those. I'm sure it won't be long before we get a feel for how many we're going to want around on the farm, and we'll be using them essentially, not really conservation browsing, but to help us manage the fields and areas where the sheep just won't touch. The brambles, thistles, nettles, these guys will love. And the banks of the brook as well. Again, there's just areas where we can just walk these guys down, bit of electric, and they can be down there for a day and do the same job that it would take, you know, half a day of strimming to do. See, this girl has got her thicker coat, her winter woolies coming through. They have a really quite a thin, fine coat, like these two in the summer. But it seems to thicken up, so hopefully that means that they're going to be nice and warm over winter. But of course we'll just be working this into a deep bedding, so we'll just be adding straw as we go. And when these guys kid in late January, Feb, the kids are just like, you could waste the whole day just watching them. They're a bit like piglets, they're just always bouncing around and stuff, so I can't wait for that. It's going to be great fun. Hey? So they're all obviously now in kid, so hopefully February we should be tripling our herd number. And we'll have a nice little tidy bunch of full-blood Boers. 2 of these are pedigree, purebred, so they've got a lineage back to as far as needed for them to be pure. But 3 of them are full-bloods, which basically means you can go back on their family tree all the way back to South Africa, back to the original stock. So they are, you know, the creme de la creme and also they all meet the top grade, which I think is grade 0. Anyway, lots to learn. That's the problem with taking on different breeds, different species, all in the first year. You're trying to learn all the different herd names, the top people in the game. It's a bit mind-boggling, but I'm getting my head around it. Cross in a minute. Now, we already spend an absolute fortune on feeding the pigs and feeding the poultry. So the last thing I want to do is to start having to feed concentrates to the goats constantly. So the more that we can feed them on hay and forage, the better, and they're going to do better for it. But you know, these girls are in kid, they're settling in, and they've been on a human handful, so not much, an adult handful of an adult handful of feed a day each, which isn't much, and a bag will go a long way. But in the long term, it would be good to try and keep that to a minimum, especially during the warmer months. You're lovely, aren't you? Fluffy Buffy is what Faith called this one. She's actually got a little bit too much reddy brown here. Goes off her neck. There's a certain amount that they're allowed to have. But she is a full blood, and all of the kids she's ever produced have had the correct markings. So we still went ahead and got her steady. There's things like they can't have more than 10 centimetres of brown on the body. It shouldn't come down their shoulders too much. No black. Again, it's just like keeping a different breed, species, everything. You've got to learn all those breed characteristics. If you've got any questions or advice or whatever, then let us know. The nice thing about boar goats is they're a little bit quieter, a little bit calmer, in as much as they're not like the full-on escapee feral goats that you can have just jumping over everything. We intentionally avoided dairy goats. We had considered it, but there's obviously more time involved, and also half the family don't really like goat's milk, so we would have had to be making cheeses or soaps or whatever. These girls will produce plenty of milk, but enough to support 2 or 3 kids each. Not really going to look into actually milking them for ourselves. Right, I'm going to leave it there because it's all gone. The pigs are screaming their heads off. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that little road trip. I'm sure it was more enjoyable to watch than it was to drive. The only reason really is, well, a couple of reasons. One is it's harder to get stock that are adult breeding stock, especially if you're going to buy pregnant does. But also, I've done it before with poultry and other livestock in the past where you buy in stock that you think is okay because it's local or a good price, but it takes you 3 or 4 years to then breed to the point where if you just travelled a bit further or spent a little bit more, you could have started off with a good stock, a good foundation stock. So hopefully these girls are going to give us that head start, that little kick start that we need. Anyway, there we go. Thanks for watching. See you next time.